Hi, we're the Calicots. It's been a year since we bought our 25-acre land. Here are the 15 things we've done on year one. It's our anniversary.
1 year anniversary of how this all started.
Yes.
Our journey from city to country.
Yes, when it all started. So we're going to walk through it all, guys. Be prepared to go on a little short journey with us, okay?
It's just been a year, but a lot of things have happened. We did not expect to buy land last year. It was just not in our plans. If it's God's plan, it's God's plan. We were not even thinking about buying land. One day, we just looked at Facebook and saw that there's this property that is being sold. It's a community divided into several acreage. And we just got curious and wanted to see what's that all about. When we first drove into the area, we really saw how beautiful the scenery is. You pass over 2 bridges before you get to the area. It was just full of pine trees. Very, very nice. It was just different from everything that we have seen in the past. We have looked into different land, but it's not at the price point, or it's not the area, or it's not the characteristics that we're looking for in a lot. We were considering several different lots, but every time we look into one, the terrain was not what we wanted. We wanted a little bit flatter, where it's not very difficult to develop. You have more usable space. One thing that you need to remember when you're buying land is how you're going to use it. If you only want to use a portion of it for your house pad and the rest you just want for maybe hiking and all that, then maybe a really rough terrain will be okay for you. But for us, we wanted to have more usable space where we can build on it, where it's not so difficult to get from one spot of the land to the other. We were very careful about the topography. We made sure that the land that we were choosing is something that we can really use and would not limit the options that we have whenever we're ready to use it. We looked into several lots and saw a couple that we really like, but there were still some challenges to it. One was beautiful, but there's a big drop, and then there were some electrical lines that were passing inside the property. He didn't like that at all. That might be too much of an issue later on when there's some repairs on the electrical poles. You really don't have that much privacy if there's an easement right there in the middle of your property. We look into other lots also. It was just too steep, shaped irregularly. It was not square or rectangle, so we kind of mixed that too. Then we walked into this property and just fell in love. It was rectangular in shape. Topography was really nice. A lot of usable space. There's no utility easement running in the middle of the property. It's also not in the floodplains. Very happy about that. We decided right there and then to get this lot. At that time, we said, hey, we're gonna build right away and get these things going. We want to be able to spend a lot of time here on weekends while we're transitioning from city to country in preparation for our retirement here. But God had a different plan again. The entire neighborhood was already fully sold. Sold out in 30 minutes, all gone. We just have to get to know our neighbors. We want to make sure that whatever they're doing and what we're doing, we both have the same idea of keeping each other away from the property line and really having a good buffer in between. So one day, surprise, surprise, the next lot opened up. We prayed about it, thought about it, fast decision. We knew right away that's what we're gonna do, is to buy the second lot and delay, postpone our immediate plans because we needed to buy that land. It will be easier for us to build later on. It's harder for us to have that opportunity to buy that second lot next to our property. From 12 acres, we ended up becoming 25 because the other lot was 13 acres. That's how it became 25 acres. It was amazing to see how fast and smooth the process was in securing the loans for the 2 lots. One closed in August and the other one closed in September. Let's go and check out what's happened in the last year. Even though some of our plans had to be stopped or postponed or delayed, there were some things that we still
Could not delay.
Definitely. One of the very first things we did after purchasing the land is to get a survey done It was very important for us to know the boundaries of our property so that there's no confusion in the future. Better to be safe than sorry. Aside from the survey, one of our very first projects is to create an entry into the property. We couldn't get to it.
Yep.
And we couldn't use it, so we needed an entry first before we can start with any other thing.
Right.
And so we did the driveway. So our property goes all the way from there, all the way to the other side. So this is the middle of the two properties. The driveway itself is like 20 feet, right?
Yes.
Two cars can actually drive
Drive down,
up. Yep, that's
back
right.
and forth, opposite direction.
You don't ever want your driveway to be straight because then people can just see straight into the
Into your
inside
property,
the
yeah.
property. So we had to do a sharp curve
Yes.
to make sure that when you're outside on the main road, you don't see what's happening.
Privacy.
Yeah, people,
Using the natural woods
Yeah.
around you. Well worth it, guys.
initially we're thinking, we wanted it longer, but the longer your driveway is and the farther you are from the light post, the more expenses you're gonna have.
Yes.
It's very, very expensive. That's the driveway. It's right there.
The other pad behind us.
That's 100 by 100 feet in preparation for a future home or maybe like some cabin. We don't know.
We don't know
But
yet.
we
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that we at least have 100 by 100 feet clearance, and then it was underbrush by maybe 10 feet around it,
around
just so that we have some usable space
Yes.
in between the trees.
One of the things that we had to think about was how were we going to store our items without bringing them in the truck every time we came out?
Yeah, that was terrible.
It was
we were hauling things back and forth all the time,
back and
from the
forth.
house to the back of the
Unload,
truck.
reload,
We spent at least 30 minutes to an hour just
just unloading and loading.
That's right. We actually had a neighbor that recommended
Yes,
this storage
yes.
container. They had a storage container and they recommended this company.
Right.
It's a Christian company, very, very nice people, and they're very efficient. The
Very
price
efficient.
was also really good.
And they were very helpful, very handy with getting the containers offloaded for us. They didn't just drop them anywhere and drive away. So very high regard for these folks. They really were very helpful. So what we have is we have 2 storage containers to store our goodies, our tools, our equipment, things that we don't want to keep hauling back and forth.
That's right.
And it really came in handy. We didn't store anything like food or water in there. That wouldn't be necessary. But we did store everything else that was non-perishable.
Don't be fazed by the
By the look
rust,
of it,
by the look
yeah.
of it.
These are sea containers. Yeah, they're not brand new containers. They're still
are-
very good containers for doing
right.
for what we need them for.
They're used containers, but
Yes.
inside they're still very intact and good shape. The only thing we needed to do here, just to make it more aesthetically appealing, would be to repaint them.
Repaint them.
We were in the process of doing that, but we had some medical situations happening
Right.
last year. Plus, the weather was not cooperating. There was so much rain going on, and we had other projects that we needed to prioritize.
Right. But what we were able to do, guys, was we were able to put vents in the containers. So we
That's
have them
true.
on the sides, on the outer perimeter of each of the containers. We have vents that we installed. And the only way we could do that was we had to use a hole saw and cut holes. And we bought those vents online, and they worked out really well. They're designed for these containers. So as you can see right behind me here, we have 6 down this side. On the opposite container, we have 6, and then we have 2 in the back.
This is the perfect spot because it's at the very end of the driveway.
Right.
And we wanted everything dropping here.
Right.
We knew that we had 2 8-foot containers, and so we needed a clearance of 16 feet in between. We had to cut some trees here. We had a couple of guys that help us put some of the rocks underneath,
Yeah,
deliver
the
the
base.
gravel for base of the container.
to sit
So
on.
that's
Yeah.
right, so that it's not sitting directly on the
On the dirt.
dirt.
Yes.
Do you remember this one?
Oh, yes.
That one is
That was
our
10 by 20 foot
Yeah.
tent. The weather turned really bad, really fast, and we weren't able to collapse it down, and we just had to get up to higher ground because the weather that was coming in.
It was
It was
raining
really hard, a lot of wind.
Not only that, there was thunder and lightning.
Oh, yes.
That's
Yeah,
what I
lots-
was more worried about. I was not worried about getting wet or the wind. I was more worried about the thunder and the lightning, and plus us handling metal during that time. And it was just so crazy. We did not want to
They want to
hurt.
get hurt out here.
And we're gonna have to maybe chop that up and
Haul it off.
and
Yeah,
throw it away.
we'll get it taken care of.
That's right.
Yes.
Buy tent. One of our biggest challenge here is that we don't have electricity yet, right? And we don't have the funds to do that.
Not yet.
And also at that time, they didn't even have any poles here yet.
Right.
It was just, you know, a latter part of the year where they had the poles. So we had to really be completely off-grid. One of the things that was very difficult for us when it's nighttime here, it's really dark.
Yes, it's really dark.
And so we decided,
we'll put in some solar lights.
that's right. Look at that solar light right there.
And these work great, guys.
Here's another one right there.
Another one
And
over
then
here.
another one over there. And there's more flanking the cabin. And
We
then
have
another
one
one
on the
right there by
driveway.
the driveway.
And we're going to add some more, guys.
We actually bought 10 more.
10 more, yes.
Because we're going to be scattering them around the property, the driveway, and also at the front of the property. Sometimes it's really dark on the road.
That's right. The only thing you can see is a reflective sign that says no trespassing with that red chain. That's when we know we're at our property.
Yeah.
So,
But when it's raining, it's hard.
yeah,
It's hard to see
It is. And one of the things we needed on this property was a tractor. And the tractor needed several attachments, so we could do several different projects at different times. One of the things that's on it right now is the scoop bucket. You can pick up soil with it and move it around. We also have the backhoe attachment on there, which enables us to dig holes or trenches, whatever we need it to do. Another great feature that this unit offers as a standard feature. The extras that we purchased for it is a grapple. It picks up logs or trees and we can move them from one place to the other. It's like a hook, like a grabbing hand, like a claw. You just grab it, pick it up and move it. We also have a box blade. It's going to be used for resurfacing the driveway or the pad or areas we want to smooth out. The next attachment we have for it is the rotary cutter. And what it is it's actually what cuts the grass and things that start to grow, like what you see growing along the side of the driveway or in the front or out here on the side of the storage containers. And on the pad, that new growth, we're going to use that rotary cutter to cut those things down and get rid of those. We have, last but not least, what we have is a forklift blades. Pick up pallets of rocks or material or supplies. You can also, with tie downs, you can pick up equipment, things that you want to move around and put in place. It enables you to do that as well. And take the tour around it. Here's our bucket, which comes standard on this equipment. You get a canopy for it if we want it, but we don't need one. And here's the backhoe. And this is what we'll use to dig our ditches or trenches or dig holes for planting trees or try to get out stumps, things of that nature. And we'll be using that for several applications. This particular model is perfect for the type of work we're doing here. We're not doing any heavy duty logging or we need heavy duty tractors to do any farming. We're basically just going to maintain the roadways, the pad, walkways, paths, clean things up, pick up trees. This will work perfect for our needs. We can go out front and resurface our ditch and clean up the front. It would be harder to get a big tractor through and maneuver around those trees without damaging trees. And this one here, this particular model, this size, I can maneuver in between the trees, go around them. I can cut paths, I can zigzag in between if I have to. It's a real easy unit to operate in between the trees out as we're going through on the property here. Very pleased with this purchase. Very happy with the tractor.
You can have your tractor, you can have your container, your equipment, all of that. But for me, I just want UTV. So we looked at different UTVs. One thing that really caught my eye because of all the features, accessories that are already included and the price point, and that is the Coleman UT400. Check out the videos that we had of this when we first tried it. I really, really love it, and it has been very helpful to me and to Jack,
Yes,
most especially to me. It's a lot of walking if you don't use the UTV around here at the ranch. At first, we were doing a lot of walking up and down our trails, and it was just too much. This has really helped us a lot when it comes to being able to do things faster. We can put things at the back right there and just drive around and just really enjoy and also do some work here at the ranch. I love it, and it's color red. One of my favorite colors too.
And it is. My wife and her toy, her UTV. Be careful. Stay off the highways. See you in a couple of hours. And there she goes, folks. We're going to have to get that lady a license plate for that thing, because I can see now she's going to be up and down the county roads. I hope she's wearing her seatbelt. There she goes. 4x4 UTV. Miss Tony. Don't hit my truck. Ooh, that was a close one. That's about 3 feet away. Oh, yeah. There she goes. The queen of the castle on her chariot. You gonna drive it inside?
No.
That'll come later, guys. That'll come later. So, tell me, how did you enjoy that?
I love it. My favorite.
We also met with a forester from the Texas A&M Forest Services, and he created a land management plan that is unique to our ranch.
We're not in the position to build a house here yet because number one, we didn't even know what kind of house we want to build.
No.
Two, we had too much on our plate. We just bought a second lot and it was just too much to even think about building a house. We were sleeping in the truck for so many nights. There were times when the weather was really bad that we decided, no, we're gonna have to run. We tried doing the tent also, but that did not work. The rain was just too much.
Too severe right here.
Too severe. And it was just crazy. We could not keep our tents up. We ended up sleeping in the truck whenever there was a thunder and
thunderstorm
lightning. What do we really need right now? We need a place for us to store our clean stuff like our food, our clothes, our water, for us to rest, in between our
little project.
So we decided we are going to get a
ta-da!
We got a shed that can be converted into a tiny cabin, an unfinished shed. It's painted outside, the exterior all good, but the inside is not yet finished. And that's gonna be just our project. We had to stop a little bit with our projects because of some things that you already know, medical, financial things, time, and the weather. I think we're gonna be starting some more projects in this tiny shed cabin that we have. We actually really love it. It looks like a tiny cabin, like a hunting cabin.
We're gonna seal the inside of it, stain the porch, and we're gonna do some painting in there.
One of the debate we're having and trying to decide, are we going to spend a lot of money on this cabin, or we're just going to make it comfortable enough where we can stay in it while we are preparing for our final home. We are still debating between putting insulation in it, electricity, because right now we're doing off-grid or water. Should we insulate it, put money on this one, finish this out, or do we just make it comfortable enough, maybe paint it, clean it up, make it where it's comfortable for us to stay in there and to store things up? Do we want to spend money on that one, or just save it so that we can get on with our project of building a house?
Yes, it's still pending.
It's still pending. Let us know your thoughts about that. Put your comments below. Let us know what you think about that. If you've done something where you built a temporary cabin for you to use while building a house. One of our immediate projects is going to be
You're gonna put in
the
our steps.
It's not very high. We didn't want it to be too high. We just did not want to have to make a lot of steps up and down. If we're going to put some plumbing or electrical, that's probably where it's going to be at the back side. Because the front is just really low to the ground. So
The front is more level to the ground.
Yeah, this is our porch. We love eating here.
Yeah.
We've had several breakfasts and dinners and
here,
lunches there. This was built by Premier Portable Buildings.
Remember when this door wouldn't shut for us? Now it locks well.
Excuse our mess. We were dumping things here real quickly, and we didn't want to put too many stuff here. We kept things in boxes because we still have a lot of projects to do inside this cabin. So just a little bit about the cabin. This is a 12 by 24 cabin. 6 of that is for the porch, and the rest, the 12 by 18, is the interior. So we have one door. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 windows. The original windows are usually just 2 by 3. We wanted to have more light inside the cabin, and we decided to increase the size, making it 3 by 3. So all 4 windows are 3 by 3 right there. So there's an option of a loft, but we decided now Jack and I really are not into climbing.
No. It wasn't necessary to have a loft in this.
So we're like,
shit.
I don't want to pay extra for something that we might not even use. Now, storage here, I love that. So we can really store some stuff there. Either that corner or this corner, we're going to put a separation and to make that our commode area and bathroom. And then on the other side will be an L-shaped kitchen. We already have the table actually that folds down, and we can use it when we're eating. And then here we have a sofa bed. When we're not sleeping, we can use it as a couch. Very exciting. We're going to seal it, trying to decide whether we're going to insulate it or not, but we're definitely going to be painting it to make it look brighter here. And we're also going to be painting the floor. It's called the floor and deck paint. Yes. Alrighty.
Okay.
That's the cabin. When you look out the window, nice view right there. Every window.
Every window is beautiful.
We wanted a window on every side of the cabins. We wanted to look out. This is at the back. A side window. No, we're still planning on putting an outhouse there later on, right?
Yes, we are.
And then the other side, which actually looks out into the
pad
area where we're gonna have our future house. Now I forgot to show you the front. So that's the view. I love it. I love how we got that. And then also here, we're planning on putting a screen door here so that we can keep the door open, especially when you start bringing our pets here. So that's our humble abode.
That's for the two of us.
That's for the two
and
of
a few
us.
pets.
A few pets. Well, one of the things that we didn't want to do is to walk on the
dirt.
muddy
dirt
here. And so Jack right here created this walkway.
It's got a lot of pine needles over the top of it right now, guys.
So you see where he's walking, that's our walkway to the cabin. We're gonna be putting some lights here. We just didn't get to it yet. We have the lights already, we just need to put it. We're gonna have string lights over here that are solar also. It's gonna be very nice when we are walking towards the cabin.
Hey guys, one of the problems that we saw that we were gonna have to address is how do we deal with the trees that we've knocked down, the limbs and the brush, and how do we get rid of them? What we did was we went and got a DK2 wood chipper. It will chip up to 6 inches in diameter of either logs or limbs. It does a great job. A lot of the chips are already on the ground over here, guys. This is a great unit. It runs on regular gasoline. It's easy to maneuver, easy to operate. Rotate that head any which way you want. Direct the chips where you want them to fall. And it's something that we can pull behind our UTV, behind the truck, or behind the tractor, but not on the freeway. It's not designed for that, but it's a great unit to move around the property here, along the lines in the front. When we start cutting some of this stuff with our rotary cutter, we'll feed it into this and chip it up. It's a nice addition to the family of equipment that we needed out here at the ranch. We're looking at probably adding something else down the road, but right now we won't say just what that is. Okay, we'll let that be a surprise, but it will be something that we need here as well to get a lot of the little jobs that we want to get completed and accomplished out here. Great unit. We really love this little unit here. It works great.
So one thing also that was difficult for us was not having any power. When you don't have the electricity that's available, kind of limits you on the power tools that we can use.
That's correct.
We invested in some generator. We actually have a bigger generator and a smaller one that we can just haul around for charging smaller stuff.
You know, it's not just for power tools, it gives us lighting inside the cabin or operates a cooling unit that we have.
We have been able to cook here also because of our generator. Gave us some light and able to charge different small items, even a fan.
And coffee. Yes. These generators came in very handy for that source.
Well, there's another thing that a lot of people are very curious about. It's like, how about plumbing? How do we do our business? One of our biggest challenge at first, you know, but we've learned.
That's right.
It is like a portable
commode.
And we actually have a review of a couple of things that we've used. One from Amazon and one that we got from Wayfair. There are several different ways to do it, but that one was the easiest, also the cleanest way.
That's right. That's right.
We never dump anything here.
No.
We always dispose it correctly. We don't just leave our stuff here
No.
or leave our...
Not even trash.
No.
No
We always
trash in
clean
the
after ourselves, even though this is our property. We want to keep it clean. We are still about to build an outhouse
An
here.
outhouse for
And
showers,
it's gonna
yes.
be coming also, so we're very excited. There's a lot of projects that just got delayed because of job
Of
surgery,
my surgery.
coupled with some job changes
Yes.
on his part and my part, and so there's just so many things going on. It was just too many stuff to juggle.
Recap on things that I've learned over this past year with buying land and equipment, and some of the things you learn about soil, placement of your equipment, your cabin. You have to be methodical about it all. You just don't just go in and just throw it anywhere. We had ideas of putting our driveway in different areas, and we finally came to the conclusion the best place to bring it in, and that's what we did, as well as our equipment, where we're going to store it, as well as operating the equipment, do's and don'ts. I had some great tips over this past year of what to do and what not to do with my tractor. Keep it from wearing out certain parts. That's very important. It's been an interesting year. You just can't go at it wide open. You have to be very careful with how you handle these things, and understand that you take care of it and it'll take care of you. No doubt about it.
Know how to use them properly.
That's correct.
Maintain them so that our investments will
last
for a
Yes.
long time. You know, even at our age, there's a lot of things that we can learn.
Yes.
New skills that we've actually developed.
I learned how to operate a tractor. I never had one
Never
before.
had one before. I've never been in a UTV before. Never had to use a winch. Made mistakes on how to use the winch, but now we've learned. Cutting trees is not that easy. It looks easy when you're watching it in YouTube,
Yes, it does.
but it's not.
It's not.
I mean, some people probably, because they're so used to it, they're DIYers, or they are so
Yep.
used to cutting logs and trees and wood. This is
For
a new
us.
journey for us. We knew we wanted to do this, but we've met some people that actually gave us some tips, and there are some that just basically made fun of us, but it's okay. You know, it's a journey. If we make a mistake,
No biggie.
no biggie. And we have been trying to learn from YouTube, from the community here. At the end of the day,
It's really on-the-job training.
that's right, it's on the job training. This 1 year journey really taught us a lot of things, individually and as a couple. It has been fun, challenging, mind-boggling, exciting, sometimes disappointing with some of the mistakes that we've had, but every mistake we learned a lesson. We also have a better understanding of our limitation physically, financially, mentally, emotionally. It made us rethink and think things through better than how we would have done it in the past. And I'm just very grateful to have been blessed with this opportunity to grow. We prioritize what we prioritize, you know, and we just see what's going to be more important, what we can do at the time frame that we have. Factor into that the weather also has been crazy.
It has been brutally hot. Today is the first day that it did not get into the triple digits.
Yeah,
Not even
oh
close.
my gosh,
So-
not even close. Look at the breeze. I'm not even sweating.
Barely.
Barely. It's been fun today.
Yes, it has.
It's just been fun reminiscing about things. It's been a wonderful year. Lots of things that happened that we did not expect. Lots of things that blew our minds. I'm still amazed by
Yes.
how fast things happened and things that were beyond our imagination. Only God made that possible.
Only God.
When people say that it's impossible, always just know that if you live it up to Him, it's God's will for you. Nothing is impossible to God. You
Nothing.
just need to keep the faith. We've been told no many times, and Jack and I, sometimes we'll be sad, disappointed, but we always just say, hey, we put our 100% effort, we prayed about it, and it still did not happen, and it doesn't make sense. We knew that was God redirecting us to our path. Hope you stay tuned to our journey. Follow us.
Much more to come.
That's right. As we move from city to country, stay tuned, watch our videos. Thanks for your support.
Yes.
We appreciate all the likes, the comments, and of course, if you subscribe, that's even much better. And turn on that notification button so that every time we post a video or some shorts, then you'll know. And
Be on the lookout for our next video.
that's right.
Calicuts Go Country.